Okay, guys, welcome to another episode of Bold and Brown.
Not bold and beautiful. You said it right. First
I
time.
know, actually, I was checking myself. Did I say it right there? My name is Vinay.
And I'm Rupa.
As always, please subscribe and in due course comment, like, and let us know what your thoughts are on the topic that we have for today. Rupa, if you could do the honors.
Today we're going to talk about the lies on social media versus reality. So, my God, like social media, I'm going to be honest. I don't know if you remember, but I was on High Five. Do you remember High Five?
Yeah,
Yeah, that was like
MySpace.
MySpace. I wasn't that big on MySpace, but High Five was
High
amazing.
five was,
And
yeah.
then I guess the other popular ones then from there was, of course, Facebook, Instagram. I've never been on Twitter myself. Snapchat, I still don't know how to use. But anyway, the point of what we're doing today on this podcast is just to kind of talk about the reality versus, the perception or what people see on social media. And let's be honest, like we can scroll for hours and hours and hours on social media, right? Just admiring and looking at experiences and people just having fun and just having a great time. And it makes us almost kind of envious, and it's like, oh, we want this and it looks perfect and I wish I could have that. But the reality is there is always the other side, which we don't see, which people don't see. And we've had a lot of people saying to us, wow, yeah, I follow you guys all the time. You look like the most perfect couple. You're amazing. I'm like, we are far from perfect. So we're going to expose a little bit of actually what is our reality versus what you may see.
So it's interesting, far from perfect. Some people, family and friends, they look at us and think, these guys always show off.
Yeah.
They always show the lifestyle and show this and then with the kids and with the money, and that's okay. I think the most important thing is we're not projecting a lie. We're projecting the best parts of our life. There's no doubt. A good friend of mine is a lawyer as well, and very nice guy. And he said to me, my life is just as extravagant as yours, just that I don't show it on social media. And he said, I know you personally. He always says you're the most naked guy I see on social media. He goes, anyone else I would have like
It's
unfollowed
true.
them. But he also said in his nice comment that I know you and you're not like that. And I know you're doing it for business. I know you're doing it for your business online, whether it's marketing, whether it's podcasting, you're doing it for a reason. I said, yeah, there is a reason behind it. But it's not so much projecting a lie, it's projecting the highlights or the best bits. So the lies we tell on Instagram, I know that's the name of this topic. It's not the lies. We're just putting forward the best and great times versus the real life couple. Now if you people who know us personally, when they see us, we are exactly the same. I don't forget once. My mum actually told me she came back from Seva where we do voluntary charity work, and she said there's a girl who was describing. She goes, "Oh my God, I know your son." She goes, "You know what I like about him? The way he is at Seva, the way he is there, he's like that everywhere. That's him." And that was such a big compliment for me
Yeah.
because I'm not going to Seva and being a goody goody. I am the way I am. Another auntie once described me. This is what she said. She goes, "Me, Vinay, he is fully religious, but he's fully in the world as well. He's fully to the world." And I was like, that's probably a very apt
Good. Yeah.
statement. It describes me to the T.
Yeah.
So what are we going to speak about here is, I don't know how it is for people on this podcast, but I like one thing, what I learned from one of my old mentors. Whenever he was going through a problem, whether it be financial, emotional, relationship, whatever, health, he'd never tell you during the time he's going through it. He'd tell you after he's overcome it, and then he'd tell you how and what happened. And I respected that. And I was like, this is really good. Because he's not going to go and meet him and, oh my God, this is wrong and that's wrong, and bring you down. I've got friends like that as well, ex-friends. Whenever you speak to them, everything's just, oh, this happened, that happened. And then you start feeling your energy's drained. And you're like,
Yeah.
why is that? You want to be a friend, but my idea of being a friend is someone to help me, take me from that negative, that bad time in my life, pull me out of there, not come and join me in a pity
Yeah.
party. So I respected that, and that's what I try to do, just portray the good stuff. If you see me when I'm up, down, I've got a smile on my face, we both have, and we're out there doing our thing.
Exactly. And, I think it's really important to whatever you are doing on social media, like I always like to think we're being as genuine as we possibly can, and we are. You know, even with regards to doing these podcasts, like there hasn't been a single one where we've, you know, rehearsed or we've had to do a second take. Like, hey, if we're gonna make mistakes, we'll make mistakes. If we're gonna cuss each other out, we're gonna cuss each other.
We're gonna fight. We're gonna fight.
Exactly. I'm ready with my pink boxing gloves. I thought I'd say it before he does. He always cusses me with that. But you know, we are who we are, and we're gonna maybe share some stuff that you don't see on social media that we do. You know, such as Vinay would be like, oh, you know, should we have a date night? Should we go out? Should we have a date night? And as much as he loves his date nights, and so do I love my date
It's
nights,
my love language.
the mother in me is like, no, by the time we put the kids to bed, it's going to be late. They might wake up. They'll wake mum and dad up. I don't want them to get... Why don't we just get into our night suit, by the way?
That's a Punjabi thing.
I never heard of that in my life until I married him.
If you're Punjabi, do you know about night suit? I hope you do. Night suit is a very...
I'm like,
It's
how can it be a suit? A suit is supposed to be smart.
It's a costume. It's you get into. It's an outfit. You wear it. But when you get into your night suit, oh my God, it's such a great feeling. When you're at home.
I'm surprised you're not in it right now, babe. Like,
usually the bottom half is, but not this time. I've got to pick up the kids.
Yeah, not this time. He's actually dressed fully today. So, you know, I'm like, okay, let's get into our nighties. Let's
PJs,
PJs, pajamas, nighties. I started saying night suits now. He's converted me into Punjabi. And I'm like, let's just, you know, watch a nice movie and relax in the living room. And we enjoy doing that. We love doing that. I especially like.
And maybe that won't go on social media.
Exactly, because... You know, like, as in, we are normal, we are doing normal things, but then we don't want to bore people with our normal things.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I do because, you know, I always like to watch people's recommendations of series or movies. I always ask them, is it inspirational or is it motivational? If you're just going to be having fun, I like having fun as well, but I'm not watching a series which is going to take an hour of my day for the next 5 seasons. No. I want something. I mean, yeah, if it's Only Fools and Horses and Frasier, that's fine. Giving away my age now, that's different. That might be my little downtime, relax. Other than that, you know, I watch Suits, House of Cards, and well, that's the only ones. Oh no, I've watched things like I watched World War II, the series on Netflix. I watched Tony Robbins, Arnold Schwarzenegger's documentary. Wow, I've seen that probably 20 times. The 3-part series, Donald Trump's 3-part series, Sylvester Stallone story. I love watching those. Movies, yes, but again, if it's Denzel Washington, hey,
Love
class.
it.
It's amazing. So
Liam Neeson.
it's all right. No, it's good.
All right.
Taken, but all these films are just all like Taken, like literally. Someone's
Yeah,
been
that's
kidnapped.
true.
He's on the
A
run.
bit too much action.
He's got to take on a mob. So you know.
Guys, I love my series, okay? Like, especially stuff like Selling Sunset and like all the property shows, Dubai Bling. I know you ladies are like, yes, love Dubai Bling. And the thing is, yes, it's inspirational and it's like you're looking at wealth, you're looking at money, but also there's a bit of drama. Like, everyone likes a little bit of drama, you know.
Oh, we're in one.
Yes.
I mean, to some extent, we're in it. But, you know, like, for example, we could be on a flight. We could be going to the airport. Yes, we've had an argument before because someone's woke up late or me, I forgot something, or, you know...
Or someone's spending too much time in duty-free.
Someone wants a McDonald's breakfast before they get to the airport.
Oh,
because they don't like
excuse me.
airport food.
And you.
I have no choice. I'm trying to join you. And support. If you can't beat them, join them.
Oh, my God.
If you can't beat them, join them. And then I'll have my double espresso and like porridge. And then I'll end up getting a hash brown as well. Then it's like, oh, but okay, fine. All I'm saying is, yes, we'll have an argument. When it comes to picture, we're like, oh, let's take a picture. And then we'll put that on social media. And
exactly.
also, I'm just thinking actually out loud now, when we are with family or friends, they will never know if we've had an argument or if we're
True.
arguing. It's very rare, isn't it?
100%.
Because we don't want it to be known.
Yeah.
They always see the happy, you know, we always back each other up. We're never going to be fighting because the worst thing is you fight. It affects other people. Number 2 is they can use that as a thing to come between you as well. Like a friend, oh, I told you he's like that, or my friend, I told you. You know, you'd never. So is that being? That's probably the same thing on social media.
Yeah.
You know, are we telling a lie when we meet people, or we're not being real? Well, I believe personally, if a couple starts to argue in front of another couple or in front of another person, family, it's getting in a very dangerous area.
Yeah,
You're getting to a stage where you are not going to stand. I mean, you don't care about what people think,
Yeah.
and you're arguing people in front of you. So we do that out of social media. So on
Yeah.
social media, we're not going to put down fights. We're going to put down a sarky comment because I want to send an indirect message to Rupa or vice versa.
Oh, that's never happened though. I don't. Have you ever done that?
I was just thinking about when I said it. You know, maybe as young, maybe I wanted to say something to you. Maybe I would have, you know. I usually do it on social media.
No,
If I got something to say, I would put indirect message
Well,
on
no.
social.
If he's got something to say, he'd normally write me an email.
Very fun.
An
That's a whole
email,
new
guys.
podcast. Guys, look, when we used to argue, I felt that if I was to email you in a well-structured,
It's very professional.
you know, paragraphed out,
Without ChatGPT.
no, ChatGPT wasn't
back
even
in
around
those
then.
days.
Good email, so she can digest, take her time, and understand how I'm
It
feeling.
used to make me so
How I'm
angry.
rather than getting into rage and anger, and you did this, I would go. That was my approach. Very wrong. And I haven't emailed you since 1990. I mean, since 2000 and something.
No, he's not sent me an email
Pre-COVID.
for a while.
You check your. Have you checked your inbox? There
No,
you go.
because
You don't need to.
I got rid of that email address. That's how bad it was. I changed email addresses.
Because of that
guys.
reason, not because of that, because other. Anyway, one thing happened once. I had to go to hospital last year, the year before that, for something, and I was, you know how NHS in the UK, National Health Service, can be a bit slow, and I love the National Health Service because it's free, and they do everything they can.
Yeah.
And I was there for a good 8 hours, I think, overnight. Anyway, I think that the Wi-Fi was low. I got a bit tired of Netflix, and I thought, let me just go through some, old pictures. You know, you got nothing to do. Let me clear up my phone. Went through old WhatsApp messages between me and Rupa. Oh my God. I went back to like 2016 and 15.
Yeah.
And the stuff I was saying, I think I ended up saying to you, I'm so sorry how I was. Thank you for staying with me. I was like, some of the stuff I was saying was just horrible. And I was like, oh my God, did I say this? I was thinking, when I was reading it, all I kept thinking was, what was wrong with me? What is wrong with me? I was like, oh
And
my
the
God.
thing is, at the time that you wrote
You feel
it,
really righteous at the time.
you were so hell bent. Like, this is the right thing.
I am right.
I am right.
You're wrong.
1,000%. You know, there
And
was
when am I
no-
wrong? Never.
Oh God, sound like my mum.
That's how I was saying it. It's the quote from you.
And
Anyway, we're
Anyway,
off topic.
yeah,
we're
we are off
we're
topic.
off topic now.
you know, so we've had these. Of course, we've had these moments, and I think this was all prior to the whole social media frenzy and everything. But like, you know, as Vinay was saying, like our own kids, right, 7 and 4, they've never seen us fight. They've never seen us argue. Imagine in a house.
Well, it was one
Well,
time when we.
I was gonna say just
yeah.
that. What? No, there was a silent one, right? So I
Yes.
think Vinay came home. We were arguing about something the day before. He came home from being, I don't know, at a case, and he just came straight into the study, and we were in the living room, and like there was no hellos.
You can't come in asking me what I wanted to eat, and I was just ignoring you or something like that.
Yeah,
And Kiki was there.
I think he was 4 or
yeah,
5.
yeah. It's young. Yeah.
He was 4 or 5 he was 5 at the time, and he was like, "Mummy, are you and Papa fighting?" I was like, "No, why would you say that?" I said, "Because you're not talking to each other." And I'm like, "Wow, like, these kids are smart." And the other day, see, I thought we were arguing. Do you remember? In the living room a few days ago.
Oh yes, that's right. That was more.
It was play.
It was like a play.
Yeah, we were messing around. Like his parents were there as well. She's like, "Why are you fighting? Mummy and Papa, don't fight." And then just to show her, I just jumped onto Vinay's lap, and I'm like, "Look, we're best friends. We're not arguing, pretending."
Good picture as well.
It was. It was. A
My
good
mum was
picture.
there. She was like, "Oh, go back," and I was
know,
like,
she was like,
I
"Take
was
a
like, River, in
picture."
front of mum. I was like, later.
I said to him, "That is the first time your parents have actually physically witnessed any
Physical
kind
affection.
of a physical affection when I just sat on his lap and like held him and hugged him in front of the kids." And his parents were just like, "Wow." Like, you know, they wanted to take a picture of us. They probably think she did.
Mum did. There was once when I had like a big argument with my dad a couple of months ago.
That was bad.
Yeah, it was in Punjabi, so I don't know if the kids understood.
Yeah.
I
No,
was,
they get the energy.
yeah, that's a whole new podcast as well, and what that was
Definitely
about.
another podcast.
That's a deep one.
Yeah.
Might need a bit of Kleenex for that. But that was there, and I remember after I said it, Kiki was like looking at me, looking around, and after I said, "Did you see me?" And he goes, "Yeah," but because I don't.
Sia was more distressed.
Was she
She was in the corner. She had her head down and she was crying in the corner.
that time?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I remember.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, then I said, "Come over here, see," and I was giving her a hug.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was-
We're getting off sidetracked again. What were we talking about? Oh, What was the point?
Like the fight, like fighting behind the curtains, and then like what we show on social media.
Yes, absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
look, I much prefer how someone can share a story about how they overcame
Yeah.
an issue, a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And people don't know, and my close friends and family know, the times when we've hit rock bottom,
Yeah.
whether it be in business or whether it be in a job or money in general. And, you know, I've always shared this story many times. When I met Rupert, I didn't have £10 to my name.
Yeah.
That weren't on social media. When we had, after COVID, myself, we were just moving and we were, we only ourselves to blame as well. We're trying to buy a house for cash, and we were in this transition, and I had to stay with my in-laws for 8 months.
Eight
It was
months.
supposed to be for just a month or two.
Yeah.
And I remember hit such rock bottom. I remember I wanted to cry at that point. It was really bad. I mean, I didn't have, much money to my name. And first thing I was like, get rid of that Maserati, number one.
Yeah. We were
And
both
it was, yeah, but that wasn't social media because, magic happened because
in. Yeah.
what we've been taught is to stay positive, keep the faith, and don't play the victim mentality. And there's a audio by Kevin Trudeau, and he talks about financial pressure. I remember listening to that. Really good audio, and he says the number one thing is you have to take 100% responsibility that everything that happened is your fault. I don't care if someone's cheated you.
Yeah.
I don't care if someone's done you out of money. I don't care if you got fired. I don't care if your job's in jeopardy. It's the economy. It's AI. I don't care. He goes, your fault. And if you accept that, magic's going to happen.
And do you know what? Sorry, just before I forget my trail of thought, talking about that time when we were at, Mum's house for 8 months. Like, thank God we didn't have to pay rent or mortgage. Even the food shopping, like Mum was getting a lot of that because she'd go straight from work anyway. And we were at the lowest point, and that wasn't even that long ago.
No, it wasn't. It
It
was
was
like
like
2 years.
2
2 years ago.
Well, what year?
Like two and a half years.
Yeah, literally
Oh.
2.5 years ago. And like, I remember I cried so badly this one moment when Vinay said to me, I did tell him this afterwards, we were buying a new house. We were waiting for this house to finish getting built. And so I was preparing with, getting things like, and it was brand new, right? So from scratch, I was getting things like the dining chairs, the dining tables, the sofas, like the beds, the things that we didn't have in storage that we needed as like necessity as soon as you move in, right? Especially for the kids. And so, I shop around. I'm me being Indian, like I like to get a good bargain no matter what. I never just jump at the most expensive site or like the most,
Most expensive husband.
the most expensive husband. I shop around. I make sure I'm getting good quality. Make sure I'm getting a good sale.
So much
I
you
look
shop
at
around before me.
reviews. I do my research.
Well, guys,
Anyway, loads of them, babes. But you won ultimately. And I remember Vinay looking at the credit card bill, American Express credit card bill.
Thousands and thousands. I
And
was like,
yeah, it was like 4,000-5,000 or something. And I think we
for
had
one
like,
item.
no, babe. And I think we had like a limit of like 6,000 or 7,000. It was like 4,000-5,000. It was almost at his limit.
That's how bad things were.
It was
It was
bad, and we were already in our overdrafts, living in our overdrafts, and there was nothing in savings now, and it was like almost like I don't know how to say it. Like it was panic, for me it felt panic, and I'll never ever forget this. Vinay took my phone. You took my
Yeah.
phone, and you deleted the card from my Apple Pay. He got rid of the Amex card, and he said, next time you want to spend money, you have to run it by me first and ask my permission. And I
It
was
was tough
just,
times then.
I was devastated, and I felt like a 2-year-old kid, like taking away my money box,
Spending a lot of money.
for your house, for your family to live.
Okay, we are seriously going off
Yeah,
topic
we are
now.
going off topic, but look.
But anyway, but that was my bad, and it was a time where, hey, now there's no issues now, right?
There's
The-
there's no issues
So-
now. But look, the point is, I never ever like to show, especially publicly, the struggles I'm going through. Why? Because I'm emitting that kind of energy, and I'm always going to come back to like energy, to frequency, vibration. Like what you put out there is what you're going to keep receiving. And I remember even when my former mentor, he met me for the first time, I walked in, like this was actually 2016, I think, yeah, 2016 this was. I was extremely broke. Although I had been in network marketing for a few years, I had not made any money, like hardly any money in the first 3 years I was in this
I
industry,
think
right?
you'd spent savings on we had spent our savings on our
Yeah,
wedding and stuff.
I'd spent like 10,000 on products. We spent money on the wedding, you know, especially being my second wedding. I was like, Mom, I cannot let you spend a penny this time. You know, you spent enough the first time. And we had paid 25,000 for a course in
Oh yeah, that's
trading
right.
as
Yeah.
well. Literally, like, pockets were empty, mate. And I went up for the first time to meet this mentor. And, you know, he didn't tell me this at the time, but he told me later when I earned my first, like, I think 3,000 euros or 4,000 euros in that week. I was like, oh my God, I've never earned this much money in my life. And we're talking back 2016. And he was like, what? He's like, I thought you were a six-figure earner. I thought you were already so wealthy and successful. I was like, I've never seen it, man. But you'd never know it. I'd walk up with my head up high. I'd make sure I'm looking good. I'm feeling good. And, you know, that's the kind of frequency that we want to emit out there because that's who we want to continue to become.
And that's what we show on social media.
Yeah.
And we won't show, like, for example, in health, you know, when, you know, it's winter and, you know, you start to gain a bit of weight, you know, I'd take a picture that, you know, slightly angled, you know, get the old bicep rip and, you know, and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, I'd keep, by the way, I do keep those pictures of me being fat. And I send it to my good friend, who's personal trainer as well. I'm like, look, what's going on? Why am I doing? You got to drop your body fat percentage, up your cardio, miss breakfast, do this, you know, blah, blah, and, you know, work through it. But I'm not going to project that. Why? Because I don't want to. I'm not telling a lie. In the right angle, in the right lighting, that's how I look. So I'd put that on social media. So that's with, you know, health, money we've covered. I mean, what else? I mean, we talk about like
The
trading.
kids.
The
Oh.
kids. I mean, yeah, kids. We're not gonna if we're arguing, we ain't got time to put them on social media because we're in a rage. If we're out on the bikes and going for a bike ride and going for a walk, going to the park, taking them to wherever the theme park, wherever, you know,
Yeah.
we'll go out there. I mean, I don't know what else to put out there. I like to put in our nighttime routines sometimes in a way where, you know, I used to recall. I remember Kiki Sia was singing Aladdin, and I put that on, and it was a nice, you know, it's a beautiful thing.
Now, let me share with you from the mother's perspective, okay? Ladies and gents, I have cried. I've cried and cried and cried, like, endlessly when it comes to these kids. Like, there's a phase to everything, right? But you don't see it. And funnily enough, I shared with another mother just a few weeks ago who's also got a daughter, just at the age of like 3, and my daughter's 4. So we were sharing a lot of stories. And she was like, oh my God, Rupert, I thought it was just me. She drives me crazy. She makes me cry. I was like, listen, Sia has made me cry more than anyone else has ever made me cry. Like, it's crazy. Your 3, 4-year-old daughter can make you cry that much with frustration and hurt and anger. Like, but you know, again, you don't see these kind of things on social media. And maybe I should put some of those stuff sometimes every now and then when I'm feeling like that. But again, I don't want to show myself to be a negative person. Thing is, I don't want people to look at us and be attracted to our any negative stories. I want people to be attracted to our positive stories. Things are inspiring, things that are motivating to them. But at the same time, yes, we're human. Yes, we have these moments. And I think this is why these podcasts are great, right? We can share the real parts of us and the real stories and things that we go through as well.
Absolutely, like Rupert said, you know, every podcast we've done, we haven't gone back to redo it unless it's in the beginning and a spider comes on.
No, even then, I think we
even then we
continued
continue.
it.
We have to stop it, or if we maybe make a mistake or whatever. Once we have a record button is done, is done. Whatever's coming out is coming out, and we want to keep it authentic. We want to keep it real. You know, it might be edited in a way where not taken out, but pieced up. That's using software, and that is everything that we're going to portray. But you know, I have more respect, admiration, and I feel more inspired when someone's gone through a challenge, rather than do what most of the world do, is have a little pity party about the negativity they're in. No, how did they overcome it? Yes, you're going to be alone sometimes. You're going to have to you're going to have to work it out, figure it out. But you tell me how you got there afterwards, and we'll have a good, positive conversation about how that happened.
Yeah.
It's different. You know, there's a difference between showing negative stuff or getting advice. That's different. Counseling with somebody, you know, someone who's in, you know, a better position. So, you know, that's the side of things from family. Also, there's trading.
Yeah.
Trading. For those who don't know, we also do, well, Rupert does it more than myself, much more forex trading, foreign exchange, trading currency, pound, dollar, euro, yen, sometimes Bitcoin, Ethereum.
Gold.
You're trading it for one against the other. You're taking a position in the market. It's like the stocks and shares. You can't see it, but there's two screens over there which have charts on there sometimes. Got a mouse map with the charts on. And, there can be wins, there can be losses. And what do we show?
Well, I'm telling you, trading has been an incredible roller coaster journey. It always will be if you're going to take it seriously, right? If you're someone who's just going to dabble into it and see, oh, let me see if it's real, let me see if it works. Do you know what? Just don't bother wasting your time or money. Unless you're going to look at it and you're going to say, I know someone who's doing well in trading. Like, I know there are real success stories with trading, not just showing all these like fake, oh, I bought a Lamborghini with this and I bought a mansion and a 7 bedroom. No, I don't care about any of that stuff. Like, for me, it's the small, small gains, it's the small, small wins. And whenever people ask me, like, oh, Rupa, how do I make £500 a day? How do I make £1,000 a day? I'm like, be ready to put in 50,000 in your account, put in 100,000 in your account. You're not going to make that kind of money overnight. Like, but for me, from the journey that I've started, and it's been 8 years now trading, like, we have gone through such a up and down process that I now understand what it takes to grow your account. And so, a lot of the times I do post on there like my wins, and Vinay a lot of the time has said, why don't you post your withdrawals, like show them that you're making money. And I'm like, oh, I don't really, I feel a little bit uncomfortable at times because I also don't want people to think that it's so quick to get. It's taken me a lot of tears, blood, sweat, and tears, literally in this, and it still does. You have those moments when if your energy is not right, if you're not in the right mindset, if you're distracted in the 6 weeks holiday, the summer holidays, I could not even look at a chart because my kids were just driving me crazy. Like, my mind was too occupied. You have to know yourself the right times to get in and the right times to keep away from it and stay away from it. So yes, I've posted a lot of wins. I've posted a lot of success stories, what I've made before 9 a.m., before 8 a.m., I'm done for the day. But also I have posted losses as well. And that's important to know that losses are all part of the journey. And you have to also see that and be open to that.
I mean, it's easier to post a profit than a loss. For me, trading or lifestyle or health, when I post, and I always say this to people, they say, you post so much about you're at gym, you're topless here. I do that because also there's one other big reason why I do that. Not only do I like doing that, I get my love language met through there, or my significance, but there's one big thing, which is the positive pressure it puts on me to make sure that I'm consistent with that.
Yeah.
I continue to grow and get better. Because when I project out there, when I meet people, they're like, oh, look, I see you here. And if I'm overweight, underweight, or whatever the situation might be, they can also use that as a benchmark. They'll be like, well, you look like this. And, you hear so many, I remember saying that, people have said, I used to do this, I used to do that. That's great. What are you doing right now?
Yeah.
That's all that really matters, unfortunately. That's great you've done this. But if you've done something amazing and you hit rock bottom and you're there and you're holding on to something you've done amazing 6 months, 1, 2, 5, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, that doesn't really, in my opinion, inspire, motivate what you're doing right now, because it's a continuous effort. Success is a moving target. It's this progressive realization of a worthy ideal. So what do you continue to grow? And if social media, we put ourselves on there in a positive light. We put our wins rather than our losses, our gains rather than our, shortcomings. We're not putting forward a lie. But people who know us will see we have flaws. I might say something wrong or something, or if we might deal with a certain situation in a bad light. Yes, we do all those. But do they need to be put on social media? No, I don't think so. I don't think it's necessary. We can talk about it. But that, for me, is in a nutshell, the lies that we tell on Instagram versus the real life as a couple.
Exactly, and I'm sure a lot of you may have some comments around this, and we always love hearing your comments, your thoughts, maybe some experiences that you've had as well. One thing that I could maybe finish off and say is, don't look at someone on social media and be like, I want what they've got and I want what they have, and just you can see them as maybe like I don't know, like it's a goal, for you to say, oh, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I know what I'm trying to say, but it's hard to come across actually. Like, don't compare yourself, you know, don't compete. I think that's what I'm trying to say. Don't compete with someone who you want that because they've got it, you know. I think for you it's always important to become your best self as much as you can, and do that with everyone that you meet and everything that you see and everything you do. It's better to create rather than compete. I think that's what I was going to say. So
Absolutely. Jealousy or envious about someone and being in competition because they've got something and you want better than them, and you're in competition. That ain't gonna get that's gonna get you so far.
yeah,
Because at the end of the day, there will always be better people than us,
Yeah.
financially, physically, relationship, always. But guess what? You'll also be better than others. Why can't we just accept where we are
yeah,
in our journeys and be, like Rupa said, motivated and inspired by others, and getting the help from people who, I'm always looking for people who have what it is that I want.
yeah,
I see a big guy at the gym, muscly. I'm going up to him saying, "Mate, what do you do?" Not big guy. Let me come and I can bench more than you. No, let's. How did you get that kind of? And we have a chat. And we become friends, and
Yeah.
that's it. We just very social, but we like to just keep it real in that sense. How we are as. I think how we are in this podcast is how we are in real life. You meet us, we're exactly like this, laughing, joking, having a good time. Want to help create something for these
Yeah.
opportunities, and just try to do as much good as we possibly can. So, guys, as always, like, share, comment, and speak to you on the next
Yes.
podcast.
Keep spreading the love. See you soon.